when did you? How did you get the nickname? When did that start? Was that during Die Monster Die? Like, what? When did you get Shadow Windhawk, and what made you like? All right, I get it. You're Noah Bailey your whole life, so you probably think the name fucking is whatever. I think Noah Bailey's a great name. I don't see anything wrong with it. So what was the fucking transition to fucking Shadow Windhawk?
Well, it's funny. I mean, all the dudes in Die Monster Die had
Had a
funny,
name,
weird, spooky names.
right?
And they had kind of a tradition of naming dudes when they'd get somebody who would join the band officially, take on a different persona. Usually they'd wear masks. I did face paint. And I think I was like one of the only guys that joined that band that did face paint.
Right.
Usually it was a mask. So I knew like when I got my in and they were like, you're in, I was like, well, now I have to have a character. And Zero DeLorean, the singer, was like, you know what? Let's call you Windhawk. And I was like, where did that come from? And it was like it started off as a joke. He like Windhawk, oh,
Very
I don't
native.
even know. Like it was funny, but where it actually came from was Zero is a huge, huge Lemmy Kilmister fan,
Okay.
and he loves Motorhead, and so Hawk Wind was that space rock band Lemmy was in, and so like in his mind he just
He just
flipped it.
flipped it right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "You're Windhawk. It's badass." And at first I remember I was like, "I don't know, dude. Like it sounds kind of whack." And he's like, "No, you know what? Own it." He's like, "Maybe it sounds funny right now." He's like, "But if you own that shit, nobody's gonna question it.
Right.
Like you just if you believe it, everyone else will believe it." And lo and behold, it stuck,
It stuck.
and it is what it is. But the shadow thing was my own like addition to it because I
Right.
wanted a first and a last name. They hated it, man. They
Did
hated
they?
it. They're like, "What are?" Oh yeah, they're
But
like, "What are
you
you,
just told me
a
to own it.
dog or
I'm gonna own
something?"
it.
I know. Like it sounds like a dog's name. Like just be Windhawk. Why do you got to add that to it? And they're like, I'm like, I don't know, because I'm a fucking goth kid. Like leave me alone. So yeah, that's how it came about. Like there's no fascinating story behind it. It was just we
Right.
were at rehearsal one day, fucking around, drinking, and you're Windhawk now. I was like, okay, all right.
Better than the name that Ralph and Jason gave me like the first time. Yeah, because I guess there's just like a fucking need to change your name to something spooky. We had
Yeah, man.
my poor friend Mike Forte. We called him Foreplay. So they were
Yeah.
so they were calling me fucking Carlos Coffin. Because my last name's
Carlos
Cafino. How
Scott.
fucking clever! Thanks, guys. Carlos
Oh,
Coffin.
that's amazing.
And
That's
then like as we became like friendlier and like they knew more about me, they just changed my name to Los Locos. Cause dude, when I was younger, man, I was a complete maniac. A complete maniac.
I believe it.
And
I believe it.
that turned into just Loco and then cute. One day, just from being cute, either Joe or Jason was like, "Yo, why don't we just call you Loki instead of Loco?" Like, and I'm like, you know what? A lot better than Los Locos. So yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I think it suits you. I mean, I met you as Loki, so Carlos is the weird one for me. I
Could you
I guess.
imagine like if it was Carlos Coffin all this time?
Carlos, man, I there was like a whole thing on MySpace with that. Do you remember that? Like, I had a stupid ass MySpace name
What was that? I don't.
before Noah Nightmare.
Noah Nightmare. Damn. Yeah.
Like, thank God that period ended.
Yeah.
Man, it could be worse. Like Shadow and Hawk, it's all right. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, that's doable. No Bailey, not bad, dude. Not fucking bad.
Yeah, thanks. That's
your,
that's
your
that's
parents did a
my
good job.
parents.
Congrats.
They everyone's like, "Oh, you're named after the biblical character." I'm like, actually, my mother was on the way to the hospital going into labor, and my dad was listening to the radio, and the DJ's name was Noah, and they're like, "That's perfect." So like, actually wasn't the Bible, believe it
Right.
or not, but I don't know. I've always struggled with that because
They really didn't plan ahead, huh? Like
no, not really. Like they told me, and like thank God I was born male, because they were like, if you were a girl, we were gonna name you Maud. I was like, oh, Maud,
Mod?
Maud. I could have been a Maud. That's not good. Like I'm not
Oh.
cool with that. So I won.